What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this week's video. Before we get into this week's video, obviously you can see that the moustache is going pretty rat, to be honest with you. Yeah, the proper gingerness is coming out now, so that's good. But a couple more weeks to push and then that'll be that. Also, I'm in a bet with a colleague, so I'll put a photo up on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on there, head over at djrxp, give me a follow. I'll put a photo up on there of mine and his, and then you guys can say whose is best. Whoever loses basically gets 50 euros to charity. So do with that what you will. Okay, so this week's video is basically what I've been up to in this week. So again, a pretty busy week, but I managed to get down to the range. Basically, there's something called an ACMT. If you're not aware, then it's an Annual Combat Marksmanship Test. Okay, as the title suggests, you have to do it once a year. So it's your shooting test to make sure that you're still current and competent with the weapon system. I had to do rifle and pistol, and I got some cool stuff with the guys from C Company on the pistol range. So that is going to be predominantly what this video is about. And then in the second part of the video, I'm going to talk to you about my training and how it's going so far. Loads of you on Instagram have asked, but I haven't really done any updates on YouTube. So for the next couple of weeks, I will bring you some of that. But the bottom line is I'm now week 9 of a 12-week program, which the whole aim is to try and gain strength, put on weight, and not compromise cardiovascular performance at all, aka running. All right, so I'm 9 weeks in. In the second part of the video, I'll give you an up-to-date part of how it's going and all that sort of stuff. So getting time on the range is always essential. Out here, from what I can see so far, loads of lads are getting down to the range fairly regularly, and I caught up with C Company, and actually once the ACMT was done, so the test part, we then went on some really exciting shoots. It tested their drills when it comes to changing magazines, accuracy at different distances, and it basically goes through all that sort of stuff. But actually it was a really cool shoot. So that's going to be the bulk of this. And then, as I said, I'll see you in the next part of the video to talk through training. And if you've got any questions, do ask. I'm a bit behind on the DMs on Instagram, but I'll get back to you in the comments on here. Put them in the comments box below. I will do my best to get back to you. And if you find this sort of stuff useful, do click subscribe, give it a like, it really helps me out, and click the bell and you're notified every time I upload a video. All right, so let's get into this week's video down to the ranges. Let's go. Sweet, that was the range done. To be honest with you, it was actually, as I said, it was really good. I was actually really impressed by their drills. I'm not part of C Company. I used to be, but I'm not part of C Company anymore. But like seeing their drills is actually really cool, really good range. And that's that. Right, but let's get into training, because I put an update on the other day about how my sort of 12-week program's going. And essentially the whole idea behind it was to increase strength, put on weight, and try not to compromise on cardio performance. So I didn't really want to put on weight and get slower. So I've been conscious of that, even though I've not been running probably as much as I would like to. Why, you ask? Well, it's pretty easy. I had people ask me on Instagram about training and how that works, and there's loads of guys. I was never really one of these people, but there's loads of guys out there that have rapid metabolisms when they're younger and struggle to put on weight. And being underweight can be just as difficult as being overweight, especially in the army when you're carrying heavy bits of kit and all that sort of stuff. And it's part of the criteria to get in. You can't be underweight. I don't quite know what the weight is that you can't be under, but I know a few of you have told me that you are underweight and now you're trying to put weight on, but you're finding it difficult. So that's what I wanted to do. I'll bring you a few more updates of these over the next few weeks as my sort of 12 weeks come to an end. But so far, so good. The overall strength is increasing. What have I been doing? Well, for the past, I'd say 5 weeks mainly, I've been doing 5x5 program, which is 5 sets, 5 reps across all the compound lifts. So across bench, squats, deadlifts and shoulder press, right? So they're the 4 that I'm sort of focusing on. And then I'll do some accessory work, do like a CrossFit type kind of WOD, or go and like do cardio stuff as well. All right. So that's mainly how I've been breaking it down. I never really did 5x5 for a lengthy period of time before. I'm aware that that's sort of like the go-to strength training program. But I've got to say, actually, I'm really enjoying it and I'm seeing the strength go in the right direction. The next part is food. So what I'm learning so far is actually, if you're doing phys, sometimes twice a day, consuming enough calories can actually be really difficult. So I'm trying to get around 4,000 calories a day as a minimum. To be honest with you, I'm not always hitting that just because work gets in the way or whatever it is. And also I like eating food, but it's still a lot of calories to take. And I'm going with trying to consume a gram of protein for every pound of weight I am. So for example, I'm now 88 kilos, so I need to be consuming 194. So that's 194 pounds. So I need to be consuming 194 grams of protein a day as a minimum, which without protein shakes, in my opinion, is almost impossible. But overall, I've got to say, I've really enjoyed the program. The goal target was 90 kilos. I started around about 85. So at the moment, I weighed in earlier this week at 88. So that is 3 kilos heavier. So my advice to people that are trying to gain weight is you need to be lifting weights 100% and you need to be eating loads of food. Okay, that's kind of it. And then definitely record your progress. Okay, so I think for the first week, stupidly, I actually didn't record exactly what I was lifting, but now I just save it in my notes on my phone across all those 4 lifts. And not only can I see the strength getting better, but I just feel a lot better when I'm performing them. It's particularly squats. They've always been basically I had knee injuries when I was a kid or when I was a teenager, maybe stopped playing football, and then I've always been very cautious of it as well. The irony is a lot of my injuries would be a lot of the injuries I've had recently would probably have gone if I had stronger glutes and stronger hamstrings. So the irony is I should have probably started focusing on heavier leg workouts beforehand. Also, being in the army, we're either running or tabbing on a regular basis. So sometimes you don't want leg DOMs. However, I've just accepted it now. It's just part of parcel. Sometimes you run and your legs are in an absolute shit state. It's just going to happen. But that's that. So as I said, 3 weeks left. And then at the end, I'll share my final weight. Hopefully it'll be 90 kilos. And I'll show exactly what my lifts are at that time. I'll do sort of what my 5x5 weight is, and then I'll try and do some 1 rep max stuff as well, just to see exactly where I am. But it is feeling good. If you've got any questions along this lines of training or nutrition or whatever, do put them in the comments box below and I will get back to you, or head over to Instagram and give me a DM on there, or you can just follow me and monitor my progress. A lot of the content at the moment is how that training is going. So if you find that interesting, go over there, give it a follow and stay up to date. That's it for this week's video. Next week is a busy week and I'm attaching myself to one of the companies for a lot of the things they're doing. So there's going to be a lot of PT, and I think there's going to be some various skills and drills that we're going to go through as well. So definitely stay tuned for that next week, and I'll see you then with a brand new video in a bit.